What's up, Trainiacs? Welcome to this week's Triathlon News Day Tuesday. In this week's edition of News Day, it's a good one. I was actually just saying that it's a good one because Ironman makes two really big announcements. A huge acquisition happens in triathlon. A book that we've all been waiting for comes out, and doping. Doping enters our sport. Drama. And Petey's tail wags in the corner as per usual. So welcome to this week's Triathlon News Day Tuesday, where every single Tuesday, as long as I'm not traveling and there is news to talk about, we talk about the news that's going on all around the triathlon world. Make sure you stick around to the end, where, as always, we will share everyone's favorite part of Triathlon News Day. That's a story from the Trainiac community. And, as always, full links to everything we talk about will be in the description below. To start off with, Ironman has released two semi-large pieces of news out there. First one being that for the 2021 Half Ironman World Championships, we have two cities that are named as finalists. The first one being Chattanooga, Tennessee. The second one being St. George, Utah. So we know that it is coming back to the United States, and we have a chance that it's either going to be a fairly hard or a fairly easy race course. The second bit of news that they dribbled out over the course of a few days is first off that the Ironman Live. These are the live streams of races from all around the world that occur on Facebook. Has been renewed. Results were so good from it last year, not shockingly, that they are going to cover 17 events from the upcoming race season. Now there are, of course, the standard ones that happened last year: Frankfurt, Lake Placid, Half Ironman World Championships, Full Ironman World Championships. But one very interesting addition that caught my eye is that the North American Ironman Championship in Texas is going to be covered. Now this is really interesting because last year it was just surrounded with drama, with drafting packs happening, combined with the winners Matt Hansen and Mel Hoshold setting new Ironman distance course records. You see that I said it? I said it right. That's right. Thank you. And now with all this being covered, we are maybe going to see a bunch of drafting packs, or we're maybe going to see a bunch of people that don't want to be caught on Facebook Live with tens of thousands of people watching them draft break up. So I find that fairly cool. Hoshold. Next in cycling news, well, this is fairly big, even though it's not triathlon related, because Team Sky, the most dominant cycling team in the world over the past decade, having won 6 of the last 7 general classifications for the Tour de France, they have sold the rights for the team to London chemical maker Ineos. Now, this is further interesting because Team Sky has been known for being basically synonymous with high performance in cycling, changing the game. What is also very significant about it is that when there is this amount of money changing hands, you start wondering if budgets are going to change. Team Sky is known for having a budget of around $43 million, twice that of the average World Tour cycling team, and Ineos has said that the budget won't change. So we can expect more domination. Now this news kind of was quietly announced, and it was actually sent to me by a pro triathlete who will go unnamed, who found the news release that a German doctor was accused of blood transfusing 21 different athletes on multiple different occasions, amounting to the triple digits for the total number of transfusions that they had done. Now what's very interesting as it relates to our sport is that this doctor was associated with multiple locations around the world in multiple different sports, one of those locations being Hawaii and one of those sports being triathlon. What this doesn't say is that it was specifically the Ironman World Triathlon Championship in Kona. There are dozens of different triathlons in the state of Hawaii, so do we know for sure that it is Kona? Not necessarily. Do we know with reasonable certainty that it is likely Kona because that is where basically all chips are on the line? Yes. Do we have any idea who it is? No. So we don't really know how this affects our sport, if at all. But if it does come out that there are blood transfusions and doping going on in pro triathlon, in Ironman racing, I think that it is going to have massive repercussions for the sport. Some good, some bad, because personally, this is not necessarily news, this is a little bit editorial. Having been in Kona in 2013, as you would expect most endurance athletes being thin, wispy little things, and then compare that to 2018 where everyone's a bunch of frickin' gorillas, makes me wonder if there's a little bit more doping and a little bit more testosterone replacement therapy for older gentlemen, which apparently is fairly easy to come by in some countries. So I think it's probably more pervasive than we think. In race news, SuperLeague Triathlon held an event in Bali. Now this wasn't one of their premier events, so it didn't draw all the big names, the Brownlees, the Vincent Louis, the Richard Murrays, the Katie Zephyrs, and it wasn't a 3-day event, it was a 2-day event, but still, SuperLeague put it on and it was a good show. Ryan Fisher won both the first and the second day events, and Suzanne Daudet did the same thing, winning both days events, the Enduro and the Eliminator. Ironman races are starting to heat up, where we're seeing more and more stiff competition showing up to the same races. We had Davao and Taiwan, which actually took me quite a while into the weekend to realize that they were separate races, but we had people like Caroline Steffen, Craig Alexander, Beth and Luke McKenzie, Tim Reed, and eventual winners Radka Kalefeld and Marcus Rowley winning Half Ironman Davao, where our pal Sarah Crowley and Bradley Weiss won Half Ironman Taiwan. Congratulations to all competitors out there. Got an interesting update on the podcast. We just released the podcast with Mike Reilly. He is our first 3-time guest on the podcast that we've had, and we did that because he released his long-awaited book that is now available at MikeReilly.net. We brought him onto the podcast where he talks about some of his favorite stories, and we didn't accept, well, they're all my favorite stories. We got him to talk about which ones are his favorite. So go listen to that podcast and go check out his book, which is now available at MikeReilly.net. Now let's wrap it up with everyone's favorite part, the Trainiac Story of the Week. It is a shorty and a goodie, and it goes like this. Hi Taren, my name is Adam. I'm graduating from college this spring with a finance degree. Sounds similar, yes Adam. I began racing triathlons with my sister in 2016 and loved them immediately. After hearing David Goggins' story, the ex-Navy SEAL who published the book Living with a SEAL, it's fantastic, I recommend it, and how he competed in the 10 hardest races in the world to raise money for the families of fallen Navy SEALs, I was inspired to sign up for my first Ironman. This September, I will be completing Ironman Madison to raise money for World Vision, a non-profit that provides clean water to children in Africa. By racing the Ironman through World Vision, I'm able to combine my passions for triathlon and providing clean water to children in Africa with triathlon and endurance sports. I've set a fundraising goal of $10,000 to provide clean water to 200 kids in need, and it is amazing that triathlon can be used to make a positive impact on the world. Short, good, and awesome to hear. Congratulations to Adam. Whether it is supporting loved ones, whether it's getting over your own addictions or struggles or medical issues, or it's like Adam and you're perfectly healthy and you are just doing it to support other people, or if you're even doing it for yourself. Like I say, there are so many good reasons to do triathlon that I wanted to highlight one of these that isn't our typical overcoming weight loss or sickness or addiction or whatever it is. Just good things happen when you take up triathlon. So thank you for sending that in, Adam. And if you want to get your story shared here on Triathlon News Day, I think we only might have one left, so odds are very good that if you send it in, it will get featured. Send in your story and some pictures to Taren at triathlontaren.com. And if you aren't yet subscribed and you like these news days, hit the subscribe button below. Later, Trainiacs. Today's a win. I said Mel Hochschild, right? Total win.